Hello, good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to join me today. I just wanted to catch up with you. I'm making a couple of journals. These are butterfly journals, and the kits that I'm using for these is Artymaze's. I want to say butterfly in blue. I always want to say blue butterfly, but I think it's butterfly in blue. So I've almost finished these, and I'm just at the stage where I'm trying to think about my covers. So I'm really pleased how they've turned out. I've got all sorts going on here. This one's got bobbles. I know not everybody likes bobbles, but I really do. So there is lots and lots and lots going on in both of these. Very similar inside. They've got the same kind of tucks and pockets and things going on in them. But this one, I haven't decorated or put a pocket on the back page, which is what I'm wanting to do. And if I show you what sort of pocket it is, this is the other one. So if I show you the sort of pocket that it is I'm wanting to do, I'm just trying to think where it is. Oh, it's on the front. A pocket that I'd made a while ago, and this was inspired by Amy from Crafty Cat, and I think Amy got it from Gayle Agostinelli, so it kind of goes back a ways. But it's made out of book page. There's a tuck spot just there, and there's a tuck spot in there with I've not put a tag in there yet, and it opens up and you've got writing space, and then there's a tuck spot at the back of it. I have made these before, and I have got a video of them before, so if you don't want to watch this, you can look back for the other one. But I wanted to make some more, because these book pages that I've done are taller. They're about 8¼ tall, and these ones that I'd made previously, because I have got a moth one there, look, and these are all kind of the same, but open. I must remember I want it to open that way. They all are too small. I want it to be top to bottom on the book page. So these are some that I made. Isn't that one pretty? I think that one's my favourite. I've been hoarding this one for a long time. That little mouse and the little birds. And then this one, you don't have to make out of book page. This one I made using Rachel's papers. Sorry, my brain just switched off then. So, and that one I've done it as two, like they would be pockets in there or pockets in there. I'm not too sure yet. So I have got some that I've made, but as I say, they're the wrong size. So what I thought was I'd make a couple and see how we go. So I thought you might like to just join me. I've looked through my books to see if I can find a couple of butterfly pages, and I have. So I'm going to use these, and one of these will go into that journal. I'm just not sure yet which one. I'm thinking it might be this one, because I've got a tortoiseshell butterfly there. So I know it's not the same butterfly, but this one's might be a little bit too, it's like a cream colour background. So we'll see. We will see. So I'm going to keep that book handy, because I need to know I'm going to make it tall enough. And the ones that I'm going to make, I am going to make taller than I would need in another journal, just so that I can cut them down when I come to make it. So I've got a big scoreboard, and it is a big scoreboard. I'm not very keen on it, because if you need to mark at like 5½, it kind of dips into the crease, but it's good for big pages. Now I know that I want to get that butterfly in it. This is where you have to think about what you want to do. So I can't really give you measurements, because it depends where the image is on your page that you need to fold it. So I'm thinking I'm going to fold it quite close up to the butterfly there. I'm going to fold that just to give me an idea. And the idea is that you fold the paper so that they will meet at the back. So you're going to fold your book page so that it meets at the back, so that you've got like a tube. So if I did it there, look, can you see what I mean? So if I make sure that that's being covered, I know roughly where I want to fold it. Would be good if I could see the image, wouldn't it? So that I'm not gonna I don't on about the 3 mark. Yeah, I've got his wing in there. And so hopefully when I fold that, both of those meet. I've got my butterfly image there, obviously too tall, but that's going to make a lovely pocket. So I think what I'm going to do, in the spirit of mass making, I'm going to fold a few and then see where we get to. See, this one is harder because I want to get both of those butterflies in. It's a bit better to start at the top, I think, so I can see. I don't want to cut the edge of that butterfly off. This is the bit that takes me quite a lot of time, sort of faffing on this. And then that butterfly, that's going to be quite a wide pocket, isn't it? How wide would that be? About 4 inches. Well, I can come in a little bit on this side, can't I? That's not too bad. Just refold it on there. Oops, that one didn't fold very well. That's me and my terrible folding. That one. I'm trying to fold it on the old score line. That's what I'm doing. And then it's still going to be quite a wide pocket. That's okay. That's okay. And my 2 pages meet, which is fine. I think what I might do as I go along is join it up. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see, it overlaps there. So that's where my seam is going to be. I know that these are too long, but that is a-okay. Oops, Daisy. Wonky gluing again. I'm just going to glue those down, and then they can be drying in the tubes for the next stage as we go. That would be a good idea. A bit of glue down that one. If you had book pages that you wanted to use, and they're not wide, they're not enough for you to do your 2 folds so that you can make it into the tube that you need, then just fold the edges of the page and put a sheet of paper or something on the back to make that pocket. You know, it doesn't have to be a book page that you can actually fold into the 3. They are plain pages. They're for the back bits that I found. Lots of those. So it's a good way of using those plain pages. And there must be other images in there because I knew I'd found some birds, rather large birds. I knew I had. Just make sure I've got no more. No, I think they're the ones. They're the birds. So I've got some a large book with some birds in, and I was almost going to get rid of the book because, as you can see, they are really, it's a big book. I mean, it's 12 inches tall, and I thought, oh, I'm never going to use those images. They're too big. But this would be perfect to make them into a pocket for a bird book. The only thing with this book is you have to sacrifice an image on the back. So the tree creeper is being given up so that I can have these beautiful nuthatch. Isn't that going to be pretty? And again, I'm just going to, no, I'm not, look, I'm not going to join it because I haven't got enough. So what I'll do with that is put an extra piece of paper there and just join it. So I'll put that to one side so I can do that in a bit. Do we have the two little finches, or do we have the chaffinches? I think I prefer the two little finches. This is where it does get hard, doesn't it? Very hard. So I want to not miss off his beak. Where is there a... Oops. Oopsie daisy. There we go. That one there. And they're going to get the tails cut off. But that's okay. That one's going to lose its tail in the fold. And that one has given me enough. Just so I can join that one up. It is a shame when you find a book with beautiful images, but you have to forfeit half of the book. I guess the thing is to get 2 copies, and then you can use the alternate ones. But that's pretty, isn't it? And cut it off. Make it into a pretty pocket, won't it? So on this one, you see I've got the chaffinches. But that one's quite easy because they're too far apart for me to make a pocket out of that one. But this one is perfectly fine. So I'm going to use him. And on one of these, you know I'm going to do it too far and cut his beak. And then about there. I've only lost the very tip of his tail. Does anybody else not like chopping the little birdies? On there. Just my lines of glue just to seal them shut. These are quite sturdy book pages, so they do make quite a good pocket. And, you know, they are all different sizes, I bet. That one's a bit bigger, that one's a bit smaller. That one's a bit smaller. They're all roughly, actually, the same sort of size, but they are pretty. The other thing, you don't have to make them out of book page. I've got these kit pages from Artymaze, and as part of my butterfly kit, I thought I might do something a bit different. Now, I know these are dragonflies, but I'm going to decorate them, I think. Got a little idea, so I'm going to make them with these bits with you. And you're actually not going to see the dragonflies. They're going to be hidden from view. Oops, Daisy. Because I just want that to be about 3 3/4. Yeah. I didn't score that so very hard, did I? And I've copied this onto quite sturdy paper. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that down there, and then that I can use later. It can be put away for a tag. I've lost everything today. It's one of those days where everything goes kind of walkabout. And hopefully I've left enough there for that just to be joined on there. Actually, I can cut some off that bit as well. Just bear with me one moment. Okay, so I've done that one as well. Look, so that's a nice tube as well. So I'm going to put that to one side, and I might do a second video on what I'm doing with those. So if we come back to the ones that I've prepared. So I've got 2 butterflies and 2 birds. Just looking for... Usually, if you if you use a book page and fold it to get your pocket, another of the book pages will be enough to be the second part of it, because you would stick that on there. You'd have your tuck spot there, and then that flaps open there. So I'm going to cut these birds down and the butterflies down to the size that I need. Let me just double check again the size of this journal. That is 8 1/4, so I don't want the butterflies to be more than 8 1/4. And I might do these just about, I don't want, it depends how you're going to do it. Sorry, I'm faffing, aren't I? It's because I'm thinking as I'm doing it. On these ones, you can see that I've left a bit of a gap there that you can see. And if we look at the one that I've made already, or that I've put in here already, if we take the card out, you can see there, this is the pocket that I've put on. So I've left a little bit to make it taller than I actually need it to be. So I wonder how tall that is. I made that. So that actual pocket itself is about 7 inches, and then that gave me a little bit to play with at the top. So I think that's what I'm going to do with these. I'm not going to make him 7 inches, because otherwise I'll end up cutting his head off at the top. But I will make it about 7 inches at the bottom. Or just a bit more than. It doesn't have to be dead spot on precise. So about 7 1/4. Don't want to chop his feet off at the bottom. And actually, if you make them a little bit bigger and you have that extra at the top, you can actually cut that down when you come to do your book. If you know what size your book page is going to be, then obviously tweak these to suit whatever it is that you want them to be. Take a bit off the top there first, I think. I'm not worried about having those words on. We have it at the bottom, and then this one, cut it off there, and then about 7 1/4. I'm going to cut those words off, so it's going to be that bit less, this one. So as you can see, I'm not wedded to how big it is, what I'm going to do. So if we look at that now, this is the bit that's going to be the open up, so they're going to have writing space in, and then there'll be a tuck there. So that is going to be too wide. So I will mark there where that needs cutting off. Cut that off there. Get rid of those. Neaten up the bottom. I don't know where that piece of paper went, but it's gone for a ping. And then that would stick on there quite nicely. And then there'll be a tuck spot just there. So I want this to be around, I'm going to cut it at 8 1/4, because I can always cut it a bit shorter when I come to put it in a book. Okay. And then because I want a tuck spot there, I'm going to roughly mark on the inside one that's going to be the flap, because I want to put a little notch in there so that it's got a little thumbnail, what do you call it? Not necessarily necessary, but that's what I'm doing. So I don't want to glue that side, because that's going to be a tuck. If you wanted it to open that way, which I must remember I want, then you'd stick it on the opposite side and have your tuck there. So you know, you can make them to go whichever side you want. So I'm going to try and remember to do mine one of each out of the birds and the butterflies. Yeah, I've got it the right way. Come on, glue. So some glue across the top, down the back there, and across the bottom. And also I need to glue on the inside, otherwise whatever I put in that pocket will come tumbling out. Line that up. So it's glued there, there and there. It's glued on those three sides, and it's glued at the bottom in there so that it makes that a pocket. Okay, so there you've got the basis of it. You've got your tuck spot in there. If you wanted, I tend to put coffee dyed paper or coloured paper or decorative paper in here so that it can be written on. And then you've also got, that will be a tuck spot there. So you've got your pocket here, your pocket there and there. It might have been useful if I put a little notch in there, mightn't it? I think I might go back and do that when the glue's dried. I should have put a notch in there. Okay, so I'll just do the others and then I will come back to you. Okay, back again. I've got myself a little bit confused. Nothing new there, I know. I've just used a book page to do the butterfly. This isn't the one that I'm going to use in the journal that I'm making at the moment. So let me just join that bottom up. Oh, my glue's dried up. I'll just find another glue. Sorry, folks. Not having much luck. My glue's stuck in like that. Because these ones, I don't mind that you can see the writing at the top there. If you don't like it, you can put a piece of paper up there, or you can stencil it, or you can decorate it. You know, you can do what you want to do. But I'm going to leave those as they are. I'm happy with those. They're the two bird ones. The ones that I'm using with the butterflies, I am going to cover the top because I don't like the green. I suppose it doesn't look too bad with that. Can you see? Okay, yeah. But I'm just going to cover that. So what I just need to do is measure how wide that is. Make that about 2 inches there. I'm going to cut it on. I'm going to glue it on, and then I'll cut it off so it fits nicely. So I'm going to put that at the top there, up to that crease. Just make sure that I've got enough to cover. I have, yeah. And then I'll just cut off the excess. And that will be fine. I'm struggling a bit this morning. There we go. When you've got white paper on white paper, it's sometimes you can't put your head over it because you don't want to see my little grey head. You can't quite see where you need to cut. And I end up going skew with. There we go. And I'm going to put a little notch in those two so that we know the pockets are there. And then that is going to stick on there. And I quite like that you can see the tape measure. So, you know, there's different ways of doing it. And you will find the way that you like best. That's the side I'm not going to glue. And if you don't want the side pocket, then just stick the pocket all the way on. So you can see there are lots and lots and lots of options with this pocket. Depends how bulky, I guess, you want or don't want your journal to end up. Here we go. Success. Realised I've got the wrong glue. This glue goes a bit wrinkly. It's a wrinkly glue. But it will be fine. It'll be okay when it's dried. I'll put it under a book or something. So you can see that's going to Can you see it okay? That will open that way. I'll put paper on there and cover that up so it'll have writing paper on those, and it'll be a tuck spot just there. So with this one, this is the one that's actually going in the journal. Ta-da, finally. So I'm going to cut that off there. And I need this one to open that way because it's going on the back page. I'm not going to use that glue. I'm going to use my other one. Yep, so I'm going to cut a couple of little notches in there because that's going to be the tuck slots. I'm going to put that on there to cover up the top. See what I'm doing. And I could have done this with got some book page stuck there. With the others, I could have covered the top, but I've got a feeling that the others will go into journals that are going to be slightly smaller, so that might get cut off completely, which is why I wanted to leave them as they were until I know where they're going to go. But I know where this, I know where this one's going. And then that's going to go on there. I have got a bit of an overhang. You'll see what I mean when I've glued this on. Let me glue the bottom together. Hold it tight so I know which bit not to glue. I don't know about anybody else, but I do sometimes struggle to get things perfectly exact when I'm trying to cut them, even though I measure them. I keep telling myself, well, nobody's perfect, Carol. And just give that a minute just to take. I do think that's pretty. Let me just lay it in the back of the book and see what we think. So that is going to fit in there. So you can see it fits top and bottom. I didn't do my notch there, so I will put a notch in just there. I think I can do it. Bit of book page stuck there, look. So that's going to go on there like that. Hopefully you can see, and I think I like it on there. And there's enough room that you can, when you open that, it will have a, I don't mind that you've got this little bit of overhang because it shows that you've got the tucks just there. I'm going to put papers there, and then it's going to be a tuck there. I have got a journal card. Here's one I made earlier, and that will go in there like that. So yeah, I think that's going to look very nice. So what I'm going to do, I've kept you for the 28 minutes. Quick recap on where we are. I hope this hasn't been too confusing for you. Oops, sorry, and I've just knocked you as well. So we've got the one that's going in the journal that I'm doing, and I'm opened it the right way. So that's the pretty butterfly. I've got two bird ones. And I may well cut those flush at the top, or I may put a piece of paper at the top and cover that. When I know what journal it's going in, I will decide, and I will put some book paper, coffee dyed paper, or something that can be written on just there. That one opens that way, and again it's got the tuck spot just there. And then this one opens that way, and again I'll put something on there. And this one I will come back and show you what I'm doing with that. So I hope that you found this useful, and I hope that you might give these a try. But thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Take care, everyone. Bye.